We are now the head coach of the New York Giants, and we're at the midway point in this season, and the trade deadline's here, so we have a move to make. But sitting at 5-2, I'm happy where the team is so far, but we need to make a good push here to week 13 to make sure we can take home this NFC East crown. So looking at the roster right now, I want to go over to the defense, and there is a glaring hole ever since we did switch to the 4-3 look, and that's going to be our linebacking core. Micah McFadden's there, and maybe we could move him to left outside linebacker now that he's not going to be coming off the edge, but still, we are missing a key linebacker. It could be Corey Foreman. He's played pretty well for us, but I also Malcolm Rodriguez. It could be Corey Foreman. He's played pretty well for us when he's come in, but Malcolm Rodriguez too, and I don't think that's cutting it. So this is what our linebacking core could look like, and see, there is still that glaring hole. And for trade pieces, we're sitting with Cordero Flott being a 67 overall. He's a star buried on our depth chart, but also our captain Xavier McKinney could be an interesting guy to move. So looking at the trades options for Xavier McKinney across the board right now, there's none of these that I'm really that interested in. If they are an outside linebacker, they're an edge rusher, which sucks for us. And I was testing some of the other trade offers on the table, and this is what came up for Dane Belton, Gerald Everett, Jacob Martin, or Jackson Smith-Njigba at wide receiver. So that's crazy, but we're not going to make any of those trades. And one player I didn't think about moving on from was Tyron Smith. He's come in and played right tackle for us, played pretty well, but to solidify our defense that struggled this year moving forward, maybe he's the guy we need to move on from. And this is the trade I set up. I want to bring in Luke Musgrave to compete with Daniel Bellinger and Brevin Jordan, Quay Walker to fill out that linebacker spot, and Dontavion Wicks as another receiving threat for us, as well as a second-round pick. So submitting this trade offer, it's just barely declined. So we're going to go ahead and make a third, and this is going to be the new group of players that are going to be added to the New York Giants roster. And this trade would leave us with 3 third-round picks in next year's draft, but the Packers finally got a replacement to play right tackle for them. Shedeur Sanders for the Green Bay Packers has taken the most sacks this season, and one player we're going to move to practice squad because of this trade is going to be Eric Gray, and that goes the same for Matt Sawyer, one of our draft picks. And with the Cowboys at 7-1, we have to be able to take them down today. Dontavion Wicks and Quay Walker are all going to get playing time today, as well as Luke Musgrave, who will be coming in for Daniel Bellinger on some sets. But Dak Prescott's been on an absolute tear, so we're going to have to bring him down in this ball game today. Practice reps, thank you to my camera for cutting out. Nobody was injured this week, so we're going to go ahead and win the toss and quick off to Etienne, back deep to return, who's going to run it, and Quay Walker almost gets a huge hit on his first play as a New York Giant. But as I was saying, Dak Prescott's on a hot streak lately with the Cowboys at 7-1, and we are going to start off this game in the nickel, so Eamon Wari as well as James Williams are going to be in at linebacker. Banks is going to come off to create the tackle. But coming out in our base 4-3, this is what our team's going to look like here. We're going to be able to hold Tony Pollard to a 3rd and 1, and sitting here across the middle, Bobby Okereke is going to be able to maybe get the stop, and Quay Walker helps him off to force the Cowboys to punt. Nice thing is Drake May's back from injury, but I'm so excited with how our defense started out in this one. But this is where we need to go ahead in this one and see what we lost, as our tackles are going to be a lot weaker in this one. Jack Nelson coming in at guard, Evan Neal out to left tackle, and that's going to cause us to run a screen here on 3rd and 9. Pressure's coming early. We're going to get it out though, but the blocks don't quite get there. Jack Nelson couldn't get it. So coming back out, they're going to go to the run here. Tony Pollard up the middle is going to get bottled up here by Xavier McKinney, and I felt bad thinking about trading him because honestly, he's been such a key part of our defense. But with his struggles as of late, I thought maybe that's where we made the move, and a good breakup from Deontay Banks is going to force the Cowboys to another 3 and out. So here's Travis Hunter back to return, and he's got some space on the left-hand side. We're going to juke back in, and he's going to get us out to the 45-yard line. And he's only in at punt returner because Darrington Evans, who's been one of the best kick returners in the NFL, hasn't been doing well in the punting game. And with the running game just not working so far, I want to try to go across the middle, and Brevin Jordan's got the grab. We were able to fit that one in a very, very tight window, but I'm very happy to have Drake May back healthy for us. And that's going to allow us to go back to the run here, and if Brevin Jordan can pick up this block, and he does, we're going to have the edge, but not quite enough. And that one really could have been a breakaway run there, but Jalen Hyde's going to have the catch, not enough for the first. And so to pick up this 3rd down, we're going to run behind Barkley, and a good pickup from Green there, the left guard. We're going to definitely need him to step up with Tyron Smith gone. And so our drive so far in this game is moving as Barkley's got another handoff for a good gain. There's a chance that we could actually end the first quarter in this one with the score being 0-0 as Musgrave's going to get the catch, and I didn't realize coming in that he's actually got 89 speed. So between him and Quay Walker, we got some absolute playmakers for us as Barkley's going to barely get the first. And so with Saquon getting tired, Pierre Strong's going to come in, and we're going to roll out. And I don't see anybody open. We're just going to try to step up and at least maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and we do. And we're going to keep these play actions going, and Musgrave could be open again in the flats, and we're just going to dump it off to him, and he stopped on his route. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter, and so far, not a lot of offense has been happening in this one. So on 3rd down, we're going to have to try to make a shot to get something open, and Daniel Bellinger is going to become open in the flats here. Odell, you could pick up the block, but he's not gonna. I tried to go to the corner there on the flood route, but the corner was all over it, and that means we're going to have to open up this game with a field goal from Jake Elliott. I'll still take the points. And while you're here, thanks for the love on the Giants franchise so far. So make sure to like and subscribe if you guys want to see more. But I really like sitting on this 4-3 here on first down, and the hole's going to open up, but we're going to be all over it. And when we get teams into the second and long, that's where we can really run the nickel. But I got burned there by CeeDee Lamb. I thought he was breaking out. And so it took till the second quarter for Dak Prescott to actually get his first completion. He gets the second one here, but they're going to go to the play action and across the middle. We're going to be there with Okereke, but he can't jump up. So maybe the Cowboys figured it out. They can beat us through the air as this one goes up to CeeDee Lamb and the jump ball comes down in his favor. A weird pass, but I guess it works. And so on the goal line, we're guessing run. We're going to come up with Bobby Okereke and make a good tackle. And we're holding Tony Pollard to 2 yards per carry, which is the season low across the board for our defense. And I'm expecting them to go to the air here, and they do. The slant route's coming out. We're going to run, and it's actually going to be a sack, and that's going to be Bryce Huff coming off the edge for us, a good sack. So for the former pro soccer player is going to come out and nail this one, and we're going to have a tie ball game here halfway through the second quarter. And so here we go with Travis Hunter. Darrington Evans, I did put him on the bench just for this one. Our drive started out with an incompletion, but don't worry, we're going back to the air here. We're going to throw underneath to Jalen Hyatt, who ran a great route. Trayvon Diggs had no answer for that one. And we're going to go back to that same route concept here, and it's Wan'Dale Robinson this time bringing it in. And I want to continue to strike through the air. This has been a low-scoring game so far, but we're going to be okay. We're just going to scramble out here with Drake May. He's going to get a couple. I could have maybe taken a shot deep there, but I wanted to hold and run. As my only goal is I just want to commit no turnovers at all, as Daniel Bellinger can't get the crucial block on that run. So that's going to make this 3rd and 7 so much harder to convert, and it's going to be outside. Keon Coleman's got it for the first. But Evan Neal's going to go down with an injury in this one, and we're going to have to go to Matt Parrott to back him up. And so we're going to have Matt Parrott on Micah Parsons. That's how bad we are right now at offensive line. So not the injury we needed in this one. And with a medium re-injury risk, I'm going to have to bring him back in. And so we're going to go back to the air here. And we're just going to throw the outside to Odell Beckham Jr. Hopefully get a couple. And so the 2-minute warning is here, and it's at the second. And with us not getting anything going, Jake Elliott's going to have to come in and hit another field goal for us. And maybe we'll end up a little bit right. Nope, it's going to go straight down the middle. It's going to be a 6-3 ball game. Two of the best offenses so far in the NFL, in the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. And this one's a defensive battle. So we know the Cowboys are going to go to the air here. It's as simple as that. And if we can make a good play happen, that'd be huge. That play starts off weirdly, though. And I want to stay running man-to-man across the board here as the stop route on the left-hand side works out in 1-on-1. And the Cowboys are immediately going to the hurry up here. Dak Prescott's going to continue to drive the ball down the field. The out route, I'm running with it. I saw it all the way, and we just have no answer for CeeDee Lamb. But I'm going to burn a timeout because I don't like the personnel that I was in with Bobby Okereke on the field. And that's going to bring Nick Amorori on the field. And then also Deonte Banks one-on-one here with CeeDee as a good breakup happens exactly. That's why the timeout was worth it. And I'm going to stay in that look and actually bring the pressure as the slant route broken up by Travis Hunter now. And so stretch to a 3rd and 10. They're going to go to the air. We have the pressure coming up the middle. Nick Amorori was almost able to get the sack, but actually Dak Prescott broke out of it. Nonetheless, it was a great disruption. He throws it away, and they're in 4th and 10. And having the field position that we do, we're just going to take this clock down unless Saquon Barkley can get a huge run. Jalen Hyatt get the block. Saquon Barkley, 95 yards. Can he take it all the way? He's getting chased. Finally gets pushed out of the 13-yard line. And that's the single biggest play that we have had all season long outside of the Jalen Hyatt catch in the Eagles game. I wasn't expecting that to work at all. Somehow we hit the open field. I just wanted to take it to halftime, but now we're looking to score. So after that great catch, we're going to go to the run concept. Oh, that didn't even come out right. And after Travis Hunter was able to pick up the first down, we're going to go out to Daniel Bellinger in the flats, and he's going to pick up our first touchdown of the ball game. Not a lot of time left in the first half, and it took this long to punch a score in. And luckily, it's our tight end, Daniel Bellinger. Maybe he felt the pressure from Luke Musgrave, Brevin Jordan, Albert O. We got a pretty good tight end group now. And Daniel Bellinger still remains at the top of that list, but for how long, we don't know. And they're actually going to go to the air here before the 2-minute warning. We just can't let up any big receptions, take it to halftime, and that should be it. But the Cowboys are actually pushing the ball here. We're just going to drop in some zone coverage, and they throw it all the way across his body, and we have nobody over there because they're running with it. Tackles are going to be pushed out. He gets to the 41, and that's absolutely killer as the Cowboys line up in quads, and Dak Prescott just throws it away. And that's the perks of a free runner. We're going to try it again underneath, and that's a good play by Travis Hunter. And that's going to have Dallas trying a very long field goal, and Audrey's going to be wide left, so the former pro soccer player is not able to put it in. And we're going into halftime against the #1 team in the NFL with a very, very nice lead. And so coming out of the half, we are going to receive the kickoff here, and Travis Hunter's got some space on the left-hand side. He's got to make some good runs, and he's going to get the user's spin all the way out to the 35. And a score here would look very, very good for us. I'm going to look for Musgrave on the drag, but throw it up and over the top. Can we fit it in there? Wan'Dale Robinson's got it, and this bad spin move comes, but don't worry. Drake May, 15 for 17 for 121 and a touchdown. It's very good to have him back. And with Evan Neal fully back in this one, let's try to run it behind him, see how we can get things to work. Barkley's breaking some tackles, but Roman Wilson goes down with an injury. One of the receivers who's been playing pretty good for us recently. Last episode, I think almost had 100 yards, 120 yards. So though it doesn't seem that big, he will be surely missed. And I'm looking at the crossers real quick. I thought about going to OBJ, but I saw that linebacker coming across, and we're going to take a bad sack. So 4 verticals coming out here, one-on-ones across the board. I'm going to throw it up to Jalen Hyatt, try to get it in there, and he gets absolutely tabletop. There should be a penalty on the way that whole situation went. But we're going to come out with Jake Elliott here and try to nail a 58-yard field goal. Will it have the distance? And it does not. So we're going to give the Cowboys the ball at the 50-yard line, as the field goal is no good. And if we could hold the Cowboys touchdownless in this ball game, that would be awesome. But I don't want to say anything because already Tony Pollard's got a good run. As that good run was already against our 4-3 defense, I can't have that happening again. But who got pancaked there? Was that Christian Harris? And it seems Isaiah Simmons actually gotten tired in this game. So it's going to be Micah McFadden moving down to the defensive end for us. And so I just checked. Both Micah McFadden and Huff are tired. So Micah McFadden does have to play D end. And then the outside linebacker spot's going to play Christian Harris. So that really means we need to manage our practice reps better. Simple as that, as Gallup has a terrible drop. So that does make it an obvious passing situation, and I'm going to be man on man here as they go up and over the top. Dane Belton's got the interception. Dane Belton with the pick on Dak Prescott. We're going to try to run it back with him as the safety that's everybody's doubted continues to impress in Giants franchise year number 2. He floated the corner route in just a little bit too late. Dane Belton was able to get over top from the safety spot. Such a good play from him. And we're going to continue to hold the Cowboys touchdownless in this ball game. 3 points, all the Cowboys have so far. This has been a great job by our offense and by our defense. Wan'Dale Robinson now getting in the open space on the whip route. Sitting one-on-one to the outside. I had to be able to go to him here as Barkley up the middle is not going to get much. But at 10 carries for 113 yards, I'll take those numbers all day long. And if the safeties do rotate here to a too high, Jalen Hyatt should come open. And we're getting a bad sack coming off the edge here. Jack Nelson, one of our guards, goes down with an injury. So in comes in Cody Ford, but that is going to be the problem that we are going to see for our offensive line. There's going to be some more sacks given up, so maybe Drake May's health's at risk. But on a 3rd and 15, we're going to the 4 verticals look, and I'm going to try to throw quick, and Travis Hunter's actually going to get the grab on the seam. And so our drive stays alive here. I was going to look for Keon Coleman on this crosser route, and he should be able to get into this end zone here. The hurdle doesn't quite work, so maybe not. And this is where the tight ends are going to come into play here. We're going to run right up the middle of the power. That doesn't quite work. So we're going to fake it to him this time, go to the play action. I see Brevin Jordan on the flats. Can we just force this ball to him? And he's gonna drop it. So this is a huge 3rd down and goal for us. We got to be able to put this one in the end zone. I'm looking to the outside. Nothing. If we throw it across the body, and that's such a bad pass. The crossbody throw didn't work, and that's our first interception of the ball game. I want to try to force it in. It was no Jordan Love-esque, or as Tony Romo would say, it's Patrick Mahomes. But Malik Hooker is going to be able to walk away with the interception as our drive ends there without any points. So that's such a bad decision on my part. We need to come out better as Bobby Okereke gets absolutely planted by Tony Pollard. We've kind of bottled him so far in this ball game, but not right now as Deontay Banks lets up the reception. But we need to continue to do that here if we want a chance in this ball game, and that's a really good play on the inside. And that tackle came out from Ed Oliver, who's been very, very good for us in the middle, and we weren't able to hold him there, but Travis Hunter coming from the other side to make the play as well. And so far, I really love the decisions that we've made on our team so far, but Sexy Dexy, who's been a giant, will always be a giant on the inside for the tackle. Look at the push-ups from the big man. But we're almost in the 4th quarter as they do go to a play action, as nothing's open here, and Dak Prescott's going to throw it out, making it a 3rd and 13. Ooh, scratch. And after the incompletion, we're bringing a free rusher on the outside. Deontay Banks almost has the interception, able to jump in front of it, knock it away, makes it a 3rd or 4th and 13. And we are going to force the Cowboys to punt the ball away in this defensive matchup. It's nice to see the Sliders giving us a defensive game every once in a while where we really have to fight tooth and nail to get our points. But 13 points isn't enough. We got to be able to run the football here. We got to be able to put some points back on the board, and Saquon's coming out with a good run. And outside of his 195-yard run today, he hasn't been having the best day, but that's been fine for us. And with maybe one of the most important 3rd down conversions needed in this ball game, here we go. Saquon Barkley's going to be able to pick it up. A touchdown here may as well end the ball game, but I'm going to try a deep shot here to Coleman, and that's almost intercepted. And looking at Keon Coleman, I wanted to test him early, but he got absolutely jammed off the line. So having no love in the air, we're going to go back, and Saquon Barkley, the cutback is kind of there if we can get forward. And so to keep the drive alive, here we go. Wicks is absolutely balled up. We're going to throw it to Brevin Jordan. He's not able to catch it. We're going to have to punt this football away. But with the 2-score game, we're still pinning the Cowboys here in this one as Travis Hunter's going to down the punt. But I think on this drive, the Cowboys are going to go to the air a lot, and that's going to be CeeDee Lamb with a good grab. But I do want to go ahead and put some pressure, as this is actually a run, but we're coming across the field with Dane Belton to stuff it. And I'm still in shock about how well this trade worked out for us, completely honest. As Stingley on the outside, almost intercepted off the tip by Bobby Okereke. And with how good Dak Prescott's been all season long, the day that he's having today is unfathomable. And we're going to bring a heavy blitz here again to try to force the ball out as quickly as possible, as Dak Prescott's going to scramble right into it almost. He's going to throw it out. Nick Amorwari and James Williams have both been able to get to the quarterback, unfortunately not bring him down, but they are going for it on 4th and 10. We're going to try to bring the heat. We're bottled up here out to the outside, and the catch is made by Tony Pollard, but it's out of bounds as Dak Prescott's 12 for 26 in this ball game, and that is absolutely insane, as we're just going to run the football here with Barkley to the outside, and our goal is just to start wasting time immediately. And running behind this offensive line is interesting, to say the least. And after another run got us to 3rd and inches, we're going to fake it here. And Saquon Barkley's going to be out in the flat. Saquon Barkley's going to be able to almost get into the end zone. That spin move took out maybe 3 defenders. And so putting us down on the 1-yard line, a blitz play is all we need. I'm running out of words as Saquon Barkley taken down for a loss of 8. So we are going to go to the air. Pressure's coming. I'm just going to throw it out. I don't want to take a bad sack or fumble. And with nothing working for us, we're going to have Jake Elliott kick another field goal in this football game. There's only been 1 touchdown so far. So here we go. A drive to end the game. It's going to start right here underneath. Travis Hunter actually gets B, and Michael Gallup stays up. And luckily, this is the formation I want to stay in right here, running out. And why is my whole team slow? All of our guys are tired. And I'm going to burn a timeout here. I have to switch over to the dime, but my entire team is exhausted. Nick Amorwari can't be on the field right now. But that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. And so to protect ourselves, I'm sitting in the 4-3 as they go out to the outside to CeeDee, who almost gets a break and tackle. And Nick Amorwari accidentally checked back in, but I got to run with him here just to make sure. As CeeDee comes all the way back and steps out of bounds. And to maybe hide him right now, I'm just going to bring him on a blitz as they go out to the outside, and that ball doesn't get in. So we are changing it to a zone coverage. And nothing's going to be open for Dak as the sack does come out. That's going to be Ed Oliver making it a 4th and goal. They're going to go ahead and go to the hurry up here. We're going to sit in deep zone coverage once again. Run with CeeDee. I see him. I don't want him to test. Pockets closing in. We're just going to need to break it up. And Banks gets the tip, almost caught by the tight end. And we get the ball back. We're going to knee this one out and win this football game in an absolute defensive battle. Did our trade work out? Absolutely. So we were able to walk away with the win, holding the Cowboys without a touchdown in the ball game. First time that's happened for them in 2 years. But now we're going to have to move into some more defensive games because this NFC East is getting tighter and tighter. And after the great win against the top-ranked Cowboys, one of the best teams in the league, we now have to go up against Patrick Mahomes, who's also sitting at 6-2. But looking at the bottom, they're the 2nd best offense in the league as well as the 4th best defense in the league. So it's just like the Cowboys, but harder now. And we do have some guys to re-sign I want to jump into. First, Micah McFadden. He's going to be a key piece of this New York Giants defense going forward. I'm going to bring him back on a good deal. And Bryce Huff as well is an interesting player that we want to maybe keep around. Playing outside and next to Kayvon Thibodeau is going to be huge for our defensive line, and he's also going to accept that deal. And so very soon we may run into some cap problems. The next guy I want to bring back is Dane Belton. And based off the last offer we submitted, we have to go up just a little bit. Let's see if he takes this offer for a 4-year deal, and he does. But I'm still going to wait on these other guys to re-sign. Daniel Bellinger is going to be a big decision, but let me know what you guys think about the rest of our roster moving forward. And going into the game plan, I just want to stop the deep pass. That's as much as it goes. And fatigue becoming an issue at the end of the game here. I don't know how we're going to go ahead and play this. I want to maybe split with half pads. But with Isaiah Simmons sitting at the bottom of the middle linebacker depth chart, I'm going to move that to starters as well as strong safety. But our offense, on the other hand, is sitting pretty. I'm still going to go ahead and spread around the points. I may finally change the running back numbers here to split to make sure that Darrington Evans and Pierre Strong with Eric Gray gone can get some XP points. And looking at it across the board, it doesn't seem like we have any injuries. I do have to go through the defense here, and it looks like everybody's good. So we're going to go ahead and jump to some upgrades. And Evan Neal's a big one, especially because he's going back out to the tackle spot. We're going to upgrade pass protector. And not what you want to see out of that upgrade point, but James Williams, I'm going to go ahead and put it on run support so he continues playing down in the box for us. I know it's not part of the scheme, but I think it's going to work for us in the long run. And the +2 block shedding as well as the press is huge. And last but not least, the man, the myth, the legend, you got to put it on elusive back, Darrington Evans, for how well he's played for us this season. And the +1 awareness is going to take his overall points up. I love it. But just so you can understand how I'm moving around the receivers so much and all these different shotgun formations and packages, if you see, I have so many different receivers in at each spot. So that helps us get different receivers on the field and different looks based on how I feel. And then the same with our defense here in this 4-3, you see our main linebackers are in there. But as we go over to the nickel, you see some of the bigger linebackers. But as we go over to the nickel, you see some of the bigger safeties coming down into the box. And our strength of schedule so far this season has been extremely easy across the board, playing the Detroit Lions, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Chicago Bears. But now we have one of the best teams in the league to face face off against. And we are playing in the rain today and did lose the toss, but we are at home here, and Travis Hunter's going to take this one out. And our goal today is to continue to limit the turnovers across the board for Drake May. He's had such a good stretch of games for us. But with Saquon Barkley getting a lot of the touchdowns here, something we haven't really seen so far from our other guys. And with Saquon Barkley getting a lot of rushing touchdowns this season, it's taken away from some of Drake May's stats, but that's okay. What a block on the outside that's going to pick up the first for us. But with Saquon coming off a 140-yard performance, I'm going to try to do the same here again today, and I don't know what that glitch was, but Barkley's going to get upfield. And I'll be honest, after the trade deadline, or before the trade deadline, I was looking to trade him away, and with the performance that he was putting on, I just didn't want to. But we're going to be into a long 3rd and 16 here, and Travis Hunter maybe can get the separation, but the little push at the top of the route's going to force us to punt the football away. And that was Taylor Rapp in coverage, and if we can't beat him today, we're going to have a lot of problems across the board here. Is that Mecole Hardman, who's still in the Kansas City Chiefs with the first catch of the ball game? And after the performance he had in the playoff game the other day, he should never touch a football field again, but I digress, as they do pick up the first down. But this is the type of team I feel like we match up against very, very well across the board, as Sky Moore's got a good grab. And that's because with a very athletic secondary, I think we'll have the ability to be good in coverage against Travis Kelce, but Travis Hunter's got a good breakup. But on the second down, they haven't gone to the run yet. We're going to bring the pressure, and it's going to go underneath to Sidney Rice, and he's got a grab. I can't believe I said Sidney Rice. That's a little bit of a throwback there, but they're going to go underneath and a good breakup coming out from Stingley. Make sure to like this video if you remember Sidney Rice. And they haven't gone to a run play yet in this game, and they're not going to do so here, as Travis Kelce on the outside, like a little wheel route's going to get them down to the 3-yard line, but he's going to get banged up on this play. So maybe this is where they decide to finally go to the run, and up the middle, it's not going to work. Kayvon Thibodeau's going to come in for the TFL. And so we are risking it coming out here in the nickel. If we could bottle it up, it'd be huge, but Isaiah Pacheco, the Rutgers legend, decides to get into the end zone, breaking one tackle. If we could just finish, it would have worked out for us, but tell some of our guys aren't good at finishing. Let's move on, though, to offense. And with the Chiefs coming out hot in this one, I do want to be able to strike back here, as I see Musgrave up and over the top. If we could just hit him, that would have been a touchdown. And Drake May starting this game right now 2 for 5, but Travis Hunter's going to make it 6 for 6, and that is going to bring up a 3rd and 4. And Barkley, if you could just get out to the flats a little bit quicker, that'd be nice, and he does enough to pick up the first. But finally here, we are going to go back to the run, and if Green can get off that block, and I guess the wrong way off of that block, as this game has been a little bit of a struggle for us off the rip. Dontavion Wicks, the new guy here in the New York Giants uniform, is going to get enough for the first down, though, and Drake May hit very, very late on the play. He's going to go out and get checked out here by the medical tent. And so now Derek Carr is back in the ball game here. We saw him a little bit earlier this season. We just want to start with some simple passes to get things rolling. And we are going to lean on Saquon Barkley to kind of keep this drive alive here. And he's almost got a good run. If he could just get through one more tackle, he would have broken it off to the second level. And Drake May's got a bruised sternum for the second time this year, also known as a head injury. So Derek Carr is going to come in for quarterback for the rest of this game. And we do have Max Duggan backing him up, so that should be enough for us, but Hyatt was such a good grab on 3rd down. And so our drive does continue here. It's going to be Barkley getting a little bit on the ground, but that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter, and we do have more yards, or just about the same as the Kansas City Chiefs, but I digress. They still have the lead. But it's our second drive that has proven fruitful so far here, as we're going to go up to the tight end, and Daniel Bellinger is going to get into the end zone to kick off this second quarter. The ball game is going to be tied. The Chiefs are going to get the ball back, and we'll see what they can do. So the Chiefs are starting out here, stretch play to the outside, and the block does get there, but we do miss some tackles, and that's going to be Pacheco getting another good run to kick off this drive. And I need to shut him down, because if we want a chance in this one, it's going to be the Patrick Mahomes show, and he may have 300 passing yards, but as long as we can force them to be one-dimensional, then that's going to be the goal, as Patty Mahomes here is going to take the snap, and they're going to go to a counter play again, and Pacheco, I need Warrior to make that tackle, and he does. And so on this 3rd and 2, we're bringing the pressure again, but our guys get absolutely beaten. Pacheco's in the open field. We missed the tackle, and eventually we're going to be able to push him out here at the 42-yard line, but Pacheco, his first big run in this one, and that could really make this game a little bit scary for us here, but Dane Belton's almost able to bring him down, and he doesn't get much out of that one. So on the first drive, they did all pass. Second drive has been almost all run here, and the blitz isn't able to work. And so they've really had their way with us so far in this ball game. He's out to the outside. They do have a guy open, and he's going to be able to get into the end zone. Brian McBride's going to get in. I think with that whole jumbled mess of receivers and corners running through, somebody got stuck on one another, and they're able to get in. So we need to be able to put a good drive together here, and I don't want to be losing in the rushing column, and Saquon Barkley outside is going to try to get that started for us, but he's only got 4, and I don't think he's had a run over 4 yards today yet. But I plan on using the play action in this one to set up some good plays, and it's going to be Brevin Jordan is going to get the first first down for us, hopefully, and he does. And Derek Carr is 4 for 4 so far to start out his stint today. But it does make us one-dimensional as we cannot run with the quarterback here. We just got to make easy passes. There's really nothing we can do when it comes to Derek Carr and scrambling. But those easy tight end out routes are going to be huge for us as Jalen Hyatt's now going to get just a nice little spot for the first. And I do want to try to catch them slipping with this RPO action as Wan'Dale Robinson caught the ball. Keon Coleman couldn't get the block, and that's going to be almost a loss there. So we did have to take a timeout because of the delay of game. And I'm looking around. I don't see anybody open, and I'm just going to throw this ball away. So finally we'll get our first incompletion of the day for Derek Carr. And that's going to bring up a third down. If I can go quick across the middle here, Travis Hunter making the grab, but it does fall out. And at the 46-yard line, we're going to have to punt this football away. And after Presley Harvin pinned them in the end zone here, it kind of ruined our good chances when it came to good field position battle. But Dane Belton makes a good break up here, forcing third down early. And so in the nickel, I want to bring a quick blitz to try to get it going out to the outside. Deontay Banks isn't able to get the breakup. And so the 2-minute warning's here, and they're doing a good job keeping the running back in the field, but James Williams maybe gets the accidental breakup. But with Isaiah Pacheco, whenever we try to run blitzes, leaving him into block is ruining that whole opportunity of being able to rush the quarterback so quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to play on Nick Amrawari. We're going to blitz up the middle as well and wait to see if he does go out. And there's the pressure that we wanted. A crossbody throw from Patrick Mahomes to Sky Moore. And as Tony Romo would say, that one was a little Mahomey as a 2-minute warning. 1 minute 45 seconds now left on the clock. And they're not even going to the hurry up here. They don't give a crap as they go under scratch. And they're comfortable. They're not even sitting in the hurry up at all. And as they're going to go out here, Patrick Mahomes scrambling out. He's going to try to force this one. Instead, takes it out of bounds. And they're on a 3rd down and 7. So instead of sitting in the nickel and maybe bringing a blitz out of it, we're going to go in pass coverage here. But it's Nick Amrawari getting burnt. And now they're using their timeouts. As they do snap it here, Patrick Mahomes looking across the middle. And we could have been there with Nick Amrawari. But Rashid Rice, I got it right this time. Rashid Rice is able to get into the end zone. And the Chiefs are going to take a 21-7 point lead going into the halftime here. But unless we do get a good return here with Travis Hunter, Darrington Evans will be coming back to his returner after this one. But with a bad return, we're just going to run a draw here play, and we're just going to take it to halftime. It took no time off the clock. We went for a punt, and it didn't take a single second off the clock. And after halftime, looking at the stats, we need to get those passing numbers up, but it's hard with Derek Carr at quarterback. And the worst thing is the Chiefs do start with a ball here, and it's going to be a tough road to hoe if we want to get back in this one. But it's going to be very, very tough to stop this high-powered offense from Patrick Mahomes as he's wheeling and dealing with, even with Travis Kelce gone. But let's go ahead and try to catch them slipping here on this blitz off the left side. But the whip route inside gets Deontay Banks. And this is not like our Dak Prescott game at all, as Sexy Dexy makes a huge play to force a 3rd down. And on this 3rd and 8, we're going to try to bring the blitz again, try to get the pressure going, and we can't get the breakup again. Another 3rd down conversion for this Kansas City Chiefs team. And this is absolutely killer for us. We have absolutely no reason we should be losing this football game for the amount of 3rd downs we've forced. And after EA decided to boot us thanks to some connection issues, we're going to go underneath. Sky Moore's got the grab. And I think I'm going to get rid of the blitz for the rest of the game. I'm going to stay in straight coverage here, but James Williams couldn't do it. And I'm going to instead try this dollar look across the board, see if we can get that working with at least some of the bigger linebackers in while keeping out a lot of big secondary guys. But they are in the I formation, and they're going to fake it here on a play action. Across the drag is going to be wide open, and the Chiefs are going to put in another touchdown, and they're slowly running away with this ball game. So I guess the comeback has got to start here, because as we're playing some of the better teams in the league, the success just isn't happening. Because we've only played 3 teams so far over 500, with the Chiefs being the 3rd team, and we're 1-1 so far between the Eagles and the Cowboys. Actually make it a 4th, because we did beat the Eagles already once this season, and going 2-2 against teams over 500 isn't the best record, especially if we want to be able to be a top team in this league. So maybe it's going to be Saquon Barkley who's going to start it out for us on this one. If we could beat him to the edge, that'd be huge, and we're not able to get there. And we're just getting no explosive plays in this one to work, as Wan'Dale Robinson, maybe a screenplay can get it to run, but nope, that only goes for about 5, so still a good play though. But I want to try to take a deep shot, and the safeties are rolling down, so maybe Hyatt will be open, but that pass goes so incomplete. And maybe Derek Carr just isn't the answer at the backup quarterback spot. But I am going to throw this one out, and we were hit as we threw, and this already forces us to a 3rd and 10. And I'm looking for Keon Coleman on this flag route to maybe pop open, but that's not going to work, because we're going to scramble out here. Derek Carr's got to be able to truck forward for the first, and he's not able to do it. And at the 45-yard line, we may have to punt this football away. But on 4th and 2, we are going to try to go for it to pick up the first down. It's going to be a Derek Carr pull read, and we just need to get forward for the first down. I think he's got it. And he does, just barely. And so our drive barely stays alive in this one. It's Brevin Jordan. I needed that block, and we're going to be able to stay in and maybe get the first again. And just nothing is working for us. No big plays, but maybe Musgrave here. I like him on the outside as a number 2 tight end. I'm looking for him to break out for us, and maybe not Daniel Bellinger anymore. Because with Daniel Bellinger's contract running up, maybe this is where we make the move. As we're going to try to throw it up, but we're hit as we threw, and it is an interception, our first one of the game. And so that was an absolute killer for our team in this one. We have no answer unless Travis Hunter could almost get the interception. That was a huge opportunity for us, but with our guys getting stuck up again in this bunch, look, they're able to convert. And this is just a killer. We're getting outworked across the board here, running the ball better, passing the ball better, and now Nick Amrawari goes down with an injury. So that means in the nickel, I'm going to bring back in Bobby Okereke. It's as simple as that, and underneath, Travis Hunter's got his first interception of the game. And our first one across the board, and maybe this is the spark that we need. He's flopping around. You love it, though. And maybe we need to move him to CB2 to try to give us some life here after letting up actually a lot of 100-yard receivers from both sides of the ball for our team. But the fourth quarter is here. 115 passing yards. That's all we have in this game. We can't get things to work. Our offense is just not clicking, and we need to be able to come back in this one. And maybe we can do it here on a deep shot. I'm going to look across. I see Dontavion Wicks, but we get hit as we throw again. Our offensive line is having a lot of problems today. And I think this is where I'm really starting to miss Tyron Smith on the outside, being able to block the edge for us because the pressure's just getting to us. As across the board, this has just been a terrible game for us. Brevin Jordan, though, on the outside, what a good route from him. And this is going to be one of our only opportunities to punch into the end zone here. Is a bad pass out to Daniel Bellinger, holds him up a little bit, and he's not able to turn upfield. But we're going to head right to the hurry up here to try to catch them in a good personnel, and Luke Musgrave's got the grab, but enough for the first. And we're going to come out and look at some slant routes here, see if we can make it work. And Travis Hunter's got his first touchdown as a New York Giant receiver, playing both ways. He gets the interception, then he gets the touchdown. You can't make it up any better. And he's continuing every single week to get more reps for us at receiver. We're plugging him into more formations, and on secondary, we're putting him in more packages, and I love to see the way he's developed for us. Continuing bringing pressure here is our goal, but they go to Pachenko on the ground. That's a good play by Kayvon Thibodeau, but we're going to need to force a punt early in this game. That's how we're going to come back, as he's going across, and coming back to the middle is going to be Rashee Rice, and that one was absolutely killer. Up the middle, we're able to get a good stop. I'm running man-to-man across the field. We need good coverage, and Rashee Rice got the catch on Travis Hunter. He had his number on the last drive, but this time around, Rice got the grab, and that's just an absolute killer right there. But in the middle, that's a good tackle from Quay. But it made me really happy to see that we re-signed Micah McFadden. I think he's going to be a key piece of our defense going forward. And I really like Deontay Banks and Stingley, as we're going to be here with the zone coverage, and we almost were able to read the screenplay, but they do get the first. But coming in, I didn't know if we were going to keep Stingley around, as Dane Belton makes a good play. But I'm not sure if he was going to be worth the roster spot and the money that we were prepared to give him. But with how he started this season, I couldn't be more happy. As Pachenko to the outside, there's nobody there. Across the field comes Stingley and Travis Hunter, and Travis is able to bring him down on the 1-yard line as Pachenko touches 100 yards. And the clock is just running down in this one as Pachenko takes it into the end zone, and that's going to end the ball game. I was debating on whether or not to use timeouts just there or yet, but with a 2-minute warning in tow, I thought maybe we would wait. But this score by Pachenko is going to put this ball game away, as we're going to fall to 6-3 on this season. And with the Chiefs taking a knee there, that's going to bring it to the end of the game. I tried to maybe go on one more push. It didn't quite work out. And looking at our stacks, Derek Carr just didn't cut it as the backup quarterback. We really couldn't get things working. He started out good, though, but Drake May getting injured was huge for us. And rushing, we should have just gave it to Saquon probably more in this one, but our offense just wasn't clicking. And receiving, yeah, we spread the ball around, but we could not hit a ball deep at all. I think our longest pass of the day was to Dontavion Wicks for only 19 yards. And our defense just got dog-tired in this one, and this is the first game this season where we didn't even get a single sack. So with that loss, we're going to move forward, and we're going to play an arch nemesis from the first ever Giants franchise ever released, the Atlanta Falcons, who are sitting at 7-2, and it's the Danny Dimes revenge game. And looking at Daniel Jones, he actually won the starting spot, it looks like, over Desmond Ridder, and he's been absolutely balling out. 11 touchdowns, 2 picks, and the Falcons are 7-2 right now in the NFL. But going into this week, finally at the talent tree, I unlocked all 3 extra slots. But the one thing we are going to do is put Travis Hunter in there as wide receiver and as cornerback. I think that's going to be the best way to develop him on both sides of the football. And so going through our weekly strategy, Daniel Jones has had a rating across the field that is insane. And defensively, they've locked down the medium pass like it's absolutely insane. But we like to throw it short, though. And so this is going to be what our board's going to look like for focus players going forward. Now, I may sub out Keon Coleman for Jalen Hyatt or Drake May, but we'll see. And across the board, we have no injuries, so it's time to jump into this game and try to get a Danny Dimes revenge game to not happen. And we did win the toss, so Daniel Jones is going to come out first to try to lead the Falcons on a good drive, but we hope that's not going to happen. And I am excited to see what Daniel Jones can do. Obviously, we want him to do nothing against us, but our defense is finally back when it comes to stamina, so we should get everybody to play across the board. And that's mainly targeted at Isaiah Simmons and the guy who just got burned there, Quay Walker, as well as Nick Amrawari. All three of them struggled last week and against the Cowboys. So it's nice to have all of them back with no issues, as Nick Amrawari is going to get juked out of his shoes by Bijan Robinson, but Dane Belton's going to clean it up. And I really think right now that our team is the best it's ever been defensively, as Dexter Lawrence is giving chase and sacks his former quarterback. And that was only on a third down pressure. We only rushed 4, as Deonte Banks is going to start it off with an interception against his former quarterback, getting chased down by Kyle Pitts. But we open up the game with an interception on the former New York Giants quarterback. That's going to be interception, I think, number 4 for him this year, so he's off to a strong start in this one. And it makes me laugh even harder because who was Daniel Jones targeting on that play? But Kadarius Toney, the former New York Giants wide receiver, who decided to pursue a rap career and then forget how to catch the football. And he spent more time trying to drop heat than drop footballs. Wait, actually, that shouldn't work like that, but we're going to go to the corner of the end zone. Luke Musgrave is in for the touchdown, and he's got his first touchdown catch as a New York Giant, so early, we're on the board in this ball game, and I'm very excited to be able to use Luke Musgrave on this offense and get it to work. Daniel Bellinger's been leading our team in touchdown grabs this season, I think with 4, so Luke Musgrave is going to be climbing up the ranks now with his first one in blue. So Daniel Jones, who's only had 2 interceptions all year long, I think he's played about 8 games for the Atlanta Falcons, through his 3rd one of the year here, as we're going across the middle. We're there in coverage against Kyle Pitts, but they go underneath, and they're in a 3rd and 8 early again, and we're dropping in coverage, and the sack comes out from Nick Amrawari, as we already forced a 3 and out from the Falcons. So they started out about as cold as can be, and we're going to get the ball back here. And it's going to be Travis Hunter back to return. Good block from Dane Belton, so we're going to take this one to the outside. The juke move is going to put us about at the 40. But this is also a breakout game for Drake May in its own right today, because, we went with Drake May over Daniel Jones, and so far he's been playing pretty well for us, but Daniel Jones has maybe been doing better. So we're really competing to see who really made the biggest impact for our team, as Saquon Barkley's not going to get the first down. And I honestly may be making a change at the punter position, because I'll be honest, that's another touchback for Presley Harvin that we put at the 10-yard line and bounced all the way in. And we could look to bring some other players in, but they're going to go underneath here to Kyle Pitts, and that's really their first good reception all game long, as Kayvon Thibodeau dislocated his shoulder on that tackle from Bijan Robinson, and he's going to miss some time. But on another 3rd down, we're bringing the pressure, and we should have an easy play here to the outside, and Xavier McKinney all over, read it like an absolute book, and nabs the interception. And Kyle Pitts is down grabbing his knee. What is it, MetLife Field, if you don't have an ACL tear? 2 per game, and we're really going to have great field position in this one. I'm going to start off with a deep ball to Wan'Dale Robinson right away. I took a shot to the end zone, and we're up 14-0 already in this ball game. Wan'Dale Robinson. We haven't had a receiver over like 65 yards in a couple of games now with the way we've spread the ball, and maybe Wan'Dale Robinson's going to be our guy to break out today. So the revenge game isn't going the way that Daniel Jones would have expected in this one. He's scrambling for his life again, and he's going to try to throw it across body, but we get a Bryce Huff sack, and him coming in place of the injured Kayvon Thibodeau makes him the #1 pass rusher that we have on our team, and good thing we resigned him, but we're really going to need him to ball out in the future right now as they go out to the outside. Is that Pruitt with a grab? No, it's not. Instead, that catch comes out from Tim Patrick, but we are bringing blitz here, running across. Bijan Robinson in the flat, but a good breakup from James Williams, and what a start for this New York Giants defense. Travis Hunter on the return here. We got a little bit of space. If we can break to the outside, it's not going to work. So because it was another 3rd and out, we do have great field position again, and I'm going to Wan'Dale Robinson here one more time, and he's almost got a first, and he does. And Drake May is absolutely balling in this one. We're going to go up and over the top to Odell Beckham Jr., and that one fits in. And just like that, our biggest first quarter that we've ever had, Odell Beckham Jr. going up and over the top on the corner route. Even the sliders set to the hardest difficulty can't help the Atlanta Falcons today, because we have their number, and we are absolutely balling in this one. 3 different players on our team with touchdowns. Drake May 6 for 6 with 3 touchdowns. Field position's been our way. Our defense has 2 picks, and we're absolutely feasting in the best quarter of football that we've ever played. We have 11 seconds. There's no way that we can make it a 28-0 first quarter. That would be absolutely crazy, but Daniel Jones on the read option gets nothing, and that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter, the best one we've ever played. And just looking at the stats in this game, an absolute slaughter. And it has been so awesome for us. But we've had comebacks against us happen before, so we don't want to do anything crazy or feel too good about ourselves, as Bijan Robinson's finally got his first good run. And for the first time in this game, it's not a third and like 28 yards to go, as Drake London's got it. And they're going to continue to go through the air here with Daniel Jones. I don't know why they would trust him after that, as that pass almost intercepted again if Micah McFadden just looked. And I want to start going to the blitz even more in this ball game, trying to get him off settled, as Kadarius Toney's got the reception, but doesn't go for a lot. And it's a third down blitz again. And we're going to back up last second here to try to see, and that one almost intercepted. You saw Deontay Banks go for it, but there is going to be a penalty here for roughing the passer. It's actually going to be holding on the offense. I expect Daniel Jones to get hit, but Chris Lindstrom's going to back him up, make it a 3rd and 14. So just nothing has worked for the Atlanta Falcons so far, as they're going to take a deep shot here. We're just going to try to swat it down, and we do. I saw Kadarius Toney go up for it, and there was no way I was letting that ball be caught. And for the first time in this game, we got to start a drive on the 20-yard line. Let's see if we can go the actual distance in this one, but a bad Saquon Barkley rush to start. So instead, we're going to go to immediate play action. I see Musgrave out in the flat. We're just going to hit him right away. Keep the drive going. Keep guys moving upfield, but Evan Neal with the injury here. And that's going to put me at a severe disadvantage at the tackle spot here, but we're going to try and get absolutely sacked up the middle instead. Grady Jarrett's going to force us to punt this ball away. And that was a very bad sack to take up the middle. I'm not going to lie, I was kind of surprised that Drake May didn't get injured there. But Deontay Banks has been absolutely balling in this one, as they're going to go just lightly across the middle. Kadarius Toney with another grab. And stuck in another third down. They're going student body run there, and Williams is able to hold him, make the initial hit. And Xavier McKinley stuffs him, so Bijan Robinson starts this game 6 for 8. So back on offense, I want to put up one more score before half, but we'll see how hard that turns out to be, as Dontavian Wicks with a good catch to start it, as Drake May's now 8 for 8 for 130 and 3 touchdowns. And the best part is we are spreading the ball around a lot here, as Jalen Hyatt just catch it and go down. I was worried about the interception there, as Micah McFadden's going to have to come back into this game after injury. And the only guy I haven't hit so far is Travis Hunter, so we're going to try to go to him, and the pass was there and he was caught. It was a bad accuracy pass coming in. Travis Hunter adjusted and was able to make the grab. And we're keeping this drive alive here, pushing the ball down. I'm just going to dump off to Darren Bellinger. Daniel Bellinger down the sideline. I almost said Darren Waller for a second. And we're continuing pushing it here. Everybody is getting involved in this drive. And we still have more games to play. And I promise you, none of them are going to be this easy, as Saquon Barkley getting chased. I try to break it out to the backside. And the one thing we are struggling to do here is just run the football. I don't know why we can't get off blocks. We can't get work in here. We can't get our linebackers, our linemen up to the second level. And coming out of the 2-minute warning, we got to get it to work here. I'm looking. I don't see anybody. I'm just going to have to throw this football away. So we're going to take our first incompletion of the ball game, yes, but we're still going to settle for 3. And if I were the Falcons, you know they have to push the ball here in this ball game, and we're going to be off cross coverage, and Daniel Jones can't hit the mark again. And at this point, we're going man-to-man coverage across the board. I want to dare them to beat us here, and they do with Drake May, but they're going to the hurry up, and we're dropping deep to the middle with Travis Hunter as they go underneath again. And we're stuck in our nickel look, but honestly, I'm okay with that. I think we're fine in coverage as they go underneath, and we're not letting anything deep, and that's perfectly fine with me, because the clock continues to run down. But I'm surprised they haven't mixed in a draw or anything like that, but the drive could end right here if it is a drop, and it's not. So there's 45 seconds left on the clock, and they finally take a deep shot here. And there's actually a guy that got burned there. That's Travis Hunter who got burned, and Tim Patrick got the reception. And I'm worried about getting caught in this look here, because Micah McFadden's one-on-one with Tim Patrick. So that's going to be a tough matchup as they do go to the backside, and that's caught there, but a bad play by Stingley as another Falcons lineman pulls up. And we all know that only happens so they can get more time on the clock, but out to the outside, it is caught. The Atlanta Falcons were able to put up a score before halftime. Okay, it scores still 24-7 in this one. And we're going to go into halftime with a very, very nice lead here, and we get the ball back first. And looking at the stats, we're in such a good spot. The only thing I want to get up is the rushing yards, so we're going to try to take control of the ground in the second half. And so early on in this game, we are turning on shoe clock. I want to see what our team is able to do as Drake May. That goes for nothing to start out, but I want to keep our team in balance, keep things working as this double team isn't able to get there, as Andrew Thomas looks lost. We just have to try to cut it up for yards. And so coming out in the second half, I tried to lean on the ground. Didn't quite work. We're going to drop this one off the belly. Hopefully get some blocks here. What a good block from the big fella, Matt Parrott. And coming in place of the injured Evan Neal, he's looking pretty good. But we do have to punt this ball away, and this one's going to be really, really deep, and we're able to pin him at the 15 to start. So we know if they want to come back in this game, they're going to have to go to the air, but they're starting out with the run, and Nick Amawari's playing so good in the middle today. Our nickel for the first time ever is working against the run, something I've never had this season. And with how hard these sliders is, it's absolutely insane to me, as we're just going to continue to try to force them back inside, and we do. And this puts them in an early 3rd and 4, and the pressure coming out. Can we get the breakout? Wow, what a good catch by Drake. But this is going to be a very, very long game for us. Out the outside, that should be an easy pick. Dame Belton, what a diving interception's able to get it in, and we got our third one in this ball game against Danny Dimes, and that's maybe our best interception all year long. Let's see the replay here. Daniel Jones on the outside, I think it was just a bad throw in general thanks to a Deontay Banks jam, and he absolutely laid out for it. The ball hawking safety. I'm so happy the Giants took him almost 3 or 4 years ago now, but he's super, super fun to play with on this roster. So our defensive MVP continues to make good plays for us. If we could just get Saquon working on the ground. Last week he struggled too against the Kansas City Chiefs, but we are continuing to play the long game here in this one. That just doesn't work. We can't get John Mitchell-Schmitz to come off. And Saquon Barkley in this game only has 10 carries for 22 yards, and we need to get the ball out in space better. So I do want to try to go to the stretch plays, and we need to reach all the way out to him. And Andrew Thomas, I asked him to reach really far out to almost a 9-tech guy, and that didn't work. For those of you that don't know, a 9-tech's a very, very wide edge rusher, but Saquon out in the flats, the linebacker's eventually going to bring him down, but he's going to get the first. And I think it's so funny about how much he actually leads our team in receptions this year. I think he's got 10 more receptions than our next leading guy, but officially every guy on our roster has a couple of receiving yards this year, except for Darrington Evans. But Luke Musgrave's here. I was trying to talk about didn't even think about going to the deep shot there. I was thinking about going underneath, but I saw him come open on that kind of slot fade there, and Luke Musgrave has got his second touchdown of the game. And so Daniel Bellinger, who's the question, as he gets wide open there, and the safety couldn't get over in time. And we're up to 31-7 in this ball game. And I still want one more stop. I want to keep Daniel Jones under 200 yards passing. That's the goal in the game right now. And out to the outside, the receiver actually came back to it in a good throw. And they're actually being driving here in this one, but a good tackle from Travis Hunter up the middle is going to snuff the Bijan run. And on the second down, we're going to run the Tampa 2, something we usually don't run, but I'll take it as they are going to take a deep shot here. Xavier McKinley just knock it down. Oh my goodness. I tried to jump up to knock it down. Drake London pulled it in, and Daniel Jones is trying to get the Falcons back in this ball game. And I'm hitting square for the life of me. Came back to the ball. You saw Xavier McKinney try to jump up to knock it down, but this is just an absolute moss coming out from Drake London. And the Falcons are going to attempt a 2-point conversion here, try to get to work, and it is going to fall incomplete, so it's 13-31. But I would love here a Travis Hunter return, but that's not going to happen. But the Falcons still have a lot to go in this ball game, and I just need to break one run with Saquon to finally finish it off. But we are to the end of the third quarter. We lead the Falcons in everything except for plays because of how good our defense has been playing. And maybe we finally have to go to the counter to get it to work here. Up the middle, I saw the hole open up. We just don't have it working. 14 carries for 31 now. And Roman Wilson goes down with a broken collarbone at the receiver slot. So that's going to be a rough injury for him for how well he's played at least last episode and a little bit into this episode. But on 3rd and 5, we're going to have to get it to the sticks here, and Belly's going to get the catch to the outside. Stiff arm's not going to work, and we are hopefully going to stay in bounds. No, we go out. Drake Mays 16 for 17 with 3 touchdowns to his name today. Actually 4, as Saquon Barkley can't even break 2 yards per carry. And maybe we're just forcing the run too much. Maybe that's the answer here, as Jalen Hyatt's going to have the catch on the outside, get up for a couple. So we are going to have to go to the air here again on 3rd down, and I don't know what Belly's doing, but we are going to throw him, try to lead him up the field, and he's maybe got enough for the first. He's going to fall short. We're going to punt this football away again. So is our offense fumbling here in the second half? Maybe, but I think we're going to still good, as that's going to be a pass interference. Are you kidding me? I came down the field expecting to lay a nice hit stick or at least break it up, but James Williams does get called for it. But our offense has still managed to put some good drives together. As they go back to the same exact play that doesn't go anywhere. And I'm surprised they haven't gone to the hurry up. Honestly, the way this team's been looking, they need to go to the hurry up to get plays to work, but never mind. James Williams gets absolutely toasted there. I'm trying to dive in to bring it in, but that's going to be a huge play. And Daniel Jones is almost up to 300 passing yards in this game with 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. But I still think, honestly, that we've had a much better day, as underneath that one's almost picked off by Stingley. And yes, the Falcons still may be 7-3, but I like the way our team's looked right now, as Banks is going to get one more. On Kadarius Toney, of all people, I love it again. Deontay Banks versus Kadarius Toney, the first-round draft pick a couple years prior versus the first-round draft pick coming into the 2024 season. Very, very different. We can tell who is the better player. Deontay Banks balled out for us today, and that's going to be the end of the ball game, and we're going to take it on to next week right away. And at the end of the game, we were able to walk away with the win in this one. And I think we silenced all the haters about who was better, Daniel Jones or Drake May. Daniel Jones may be leading the Falcons to a great record, but we're better in the end. And looking at the stats, Drake May, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 18 of 19. What a stat booster for him in this one, as Daniel Jones, 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. They did score late in the game. I was a little bit worried about the running game across the board. Every team struggled. Bijan Robinson, 9 for 16. Saquon Barkley, 25 for almost barely 60 yards. And across the board in the running game, everybody struggled. Saquon Barkley, 2.2 yards per carry, 1.7 coming out for Bijan. So a rough game there. And receiving-wise, Odell Beckham Jr. led us with 1 catch, 1 touchdown for 50 yards. Across the board, though, pretty good game from everybody. Travis Hunter's even getting in there. Jalen Hyatt down at the bottom. But I still like the way we're spreading the ball. It gives a more realistic feel when you're going through franchise. And because we don't have one bona fide superstar receiver, it seems realistic to me. And because of this, Drake May's finally got an upgrade point for us. And at the end of this game, we're going to put it on field general. I want to keep upgrading that stat to fit our scheme moving forward. He can run, he can throw, and the +3 short accuracy is all we get. So that's a killer, but we do have focus players for our scouting. I want to go in and look at it. And I know it's not fun, but I do want to scout some of the tackles. Tyrell Carrington from Tennessee at 6'7" could be a beast for us. But then at tight end, Colton Perry's the only first-round projection. I want to put one there. And then at edge rushers, Marcus Peppers, a guy I don't want to pronounce his name just yet before I listen to some YouTube videos to listen to it, but we're actually going to put it on him because I want to move forward here, and maybe edge rusher could be our move if we move on from Bryce Huff or Kayvon Thibodeau next year. But looking at some injuries now that are going to be affecting us, Dante Corleone's been out with an injury for a very long time now. Roman Wilson's going to miss 7 games, and Quay Walker at the end of the game on a kick return dislocated his hip, so we traded for him. And now we're going to lose him again, so that's going to affect our team a lot. Christian Harris is going to just have to come in and play some really good linebacker for us. And coming into our game against Minnesota, we did get a weekly award first time, I think, this year. Drake May walking away with 4 touchdown passes. And I just have to make sure we haven't gotten yet this year. I don't think we have. Oh, wait, Saquon Barkley did get it with the 177-yard performance, but that's it for our team. And I see it right there. We do have a breakout opportunity for Drake May, and we have to throw 1 or fewer interceptions and have 400 scrimmage yards or 4 total touchdowns. So no picks, and we need to get it working in this game. And Baker Mayfield's still out the helm for the Minnesota Vikings. He's been pretty good for them so far in this one. Last season finished them to a top record. This year, they're also got a pretty good record as well. And it looks like their secondaries actually struggle. So that's something good for us coming into this game. 400 yards, though, is a lot to ask for from Drake May. We haven't hit that total yet this year. And we've only topped 300 yards only a couple times. And very, very quickly looking through, no injuries. We don't have a lot to do this week. I do want to look at the contracts after this game, but I want to jump in and let's get this breakout. But before that, we do have some upgrade points, and it's 2 wide receivers, which is absolutely huge for us. Jalen Hyatt put it on playmaker, and the +2 awareness, plus the juke move, plus the ability slot's huge. And then Travis Hunter, I'm going to put on a deep threat. I want to see if I can get another speed increase. He's at 94. Let's see if we can get him up 1 more. We can't, but across the board, those are some athletic attributes up. But looking at across the board, those are some athletic attribute upgrades. That's huge for us. And then with Micah McFadden, it says pass coverage, but I want to make him a field general for us. I want to keep upgrading that stat, and we should get some block shedding with it, and we do. +1, but +3 awareness is ridiculous. And looking at it last game, Drake May absolutely did ball out. Those stats are insane. But Baker Mayfield in his own right is off to a pretty good start this season. Very typical Baker Mayfield stats. The completion percentage is a little iffy. The touchdowns are there, though, but so are the picks. So the Vikings won the toss, got the ball first, and after a really good return, they're going to start here at around midfield, and Cam Akers is in at running back. Katron Allen, former Penn State running back, is their starting back, but he got injured on the kick return, so that's a little win for us early in the game as they do go to the slant route and is picked up. And Justin Jefferson, who's now a veteran in the NFL, it seems, with this Minnesota Vikings team, gets that reception. But we're going to continue to bring the blitz against this Vikings roster as they do have TJ Hawkinson and Dane Belton's in coverage. And Dane Belton's really been a beast for this Giants team so far as we're going to go out here. Why is Williams so slow? Oh, he's already tired in this one. I thought I said at the practice reps where he's getting no reps at all. But looking at it, he's gassed here in the formations tab. So I'm either going to have to sub him out or change. So I'm going to have to sub him out of this ball game just to make sure he's not in any packages. So Okereke is there for the sack. I mean, tackle, but they're going quick underneath again. And did he get to the first down to gain? He did not. And Deontay Banks with a good tackle. And though they threw the ball 7 different times on this drive, I was going to say they were going to go to the field goal, but they do go to the run, and Cam Akers has got the space, and Cam Akers is going to get into the end zone first for this Minnesota Vikings team. So last week, we played phenomenal on defense, being able to hold the Atlanta Falcons. Now against the Minnesota Vikings, they drive down the field right away on us and make us pay. And so with a breakout opportunity on the line, I want to try a deep pass right away here with Drake May, and nothing's really there. We're going to throw this ball away. So starting out, we couldn't get things working. No worries. We're going to go underneath to Travis Hunter for the first catch of this drive. And I'm going to be looking here for Dontavian Wicks on this whip route, and I'm thrown right into coverage here. He's got to be able to catch it, and he does, but it is a 4th and 2, and we're going to punt this ball away. And so coming back out on defense, we're going to have to go to a lot of 52 personnel, because I think that's how we're going to be able to win this field position game and game in general, especially with some of our guys being tired. But it's really something we haven't done a lot this year, but that's okay. Is in the middle, Sexy Dexy's got a good stop. And coming out of it, we're going to bring a free blitzer up the middle here, and the pass is broken up, forcing a 3rd and 12. So that's going to lead us to bring some more pressure up the middle, but a crosser route comes out, and Christian Harris, that's where it's bad zone coverage, as he did not even see the crosser running right behind him. And with the Vikings on the other side of the field, they're going to try to pin us very, very deep here, and that looks like a very good punt, and it's going to be out at the 8-yard line. And so continuing on, we're just going to have to keep going to the air here. Saquon Barkley out in the flats is going to get a good start, and we're going to go back to a play action we tried earlier in this game, and it did not work, but the coverage across the field is just too good. They're so deep on us. But I'm telling you right now, Barkley is not going to have a good game unless we go to him through the air, and that one doesn't quite work. So maybe we could try to mix it up here. I'm going to see a corner route by Jalen Hyatt as he breaks to it very quickly, and that one's almost picked off. We almost lost our X factor, but that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter, where the Vikings have a very good lead, and they're completely dominating us on both sides of the football. And it looks like they're in a cover 3 here across the board, and pressure's coming at us right away, and I'm just going to have to throw this one out, and we're going to have to punt this football away. Our offensive line completely broke down instantly on the right-hand side, and I had nothing to do for it. And so I'm already thinking in this game, maybe we go away from the breakout situation for Drake May, but I do like the way this 5-2 is feeling, as we're just leaving Justin Jefferson one-on-one on an island, though. And that's really going to be my biggest fear in this game across the board here. But the sack comes in from Bobby Okereke. The blitz actually does work. But we are going to drop with Kayvon Thibodeau, and we drop right into a little hitch route from Jordan Addison. So we're mixing up with something we usually don't do, a zone blitz here. We should have a free rusher at the quarterback, and it is working. And if we could just get the break up here, Dame Belton, what a good play in the secondary. We were running a cover 2 there, but with a blitz coming off the edge, we had only 1 hook curl drop and 2 deep drops and 2 flat drops, and that was it. But it is going to give Travis Hunter an opportunity for a kick return here, a punt return, I mean, but we do not get any. Cut that. So back out on offense, let's try to take a deep shot. And I want to try to go to Jalen Hyatt one-on-one, but our pressure just gets to us again. And we're just having no love here across the board. Maybe the slant route hitting behind, and that's a window shopping throw, but it doesn't get in. And that one's an absolute killer for us. But Keon Coleman out to the outside, and he's got space, and Keon Coleman breaks one. He's got space. What a good catch coming out from him. There is a flag, and I think that's going to be roughing the passer. And it's actually pass interference on the defense, so we're going to accept that for some more yardage. And so we're going to keep going here. Wait, I don't think we got the right yardage on that one. But I'm going to break out here, and we're just going to scramble up. We just need 400 all-purpose yards in this one, so I'll take the run. And even though we need to pass, I am going to go to a stretch play every once in a while with Saquon Barkley, and a good blocking at the edge there. Saquon's able to get us the first. But now we're going to go back to throwing the football here. Let's see what we can do. And I threw it right into coverage, and that's the easiest interception I've ever seen. I basically said I was going to throw to that guy all the way. I thought the corner was going to drop deep, but he dropped underneath, and I just wasn't ready for it, and we threw an interception. So that's an absolute killer for us. We weren't able to get it to work, and now they're going to hit Deonte Banks up the seam. They go after him, and Jordan Addison has the grab. We've done a good job in the past couple of weeks of just not getting Drake May an interception, and that just really kills our entire momentum in this ballgame, and that we've been building the past couple of weeks. But we are going to be still here across the middle, and Justin Jefferson's got the touchdown, so the Vikings jump out to a 14-0 lead in this ballgame, and I'm doing a terrible job of managing this game. We need to get back into it. We need to score on this next drive here, at least before the half. So after the failed attempt to break out Drake May, we're going to go to the run, see if we can get working here, and Saquon Barkley spinning off tackles, something you haven't seen the past week. And with them sacking the box, we are going to at least try to go to the air here. And I see Wan'Dale Robinson. We may be able to get that one in, but we don't, and it's already a 3rd down. So after going 18 of 19 in the last game, this one's just not going to work, and I just need Travis Hunter to stay in bounds, and he got the grab, but Kenyon Green goes down with an injury, and this is just not where we need this game to be for us right now, as I'm going to try to throw it out, and we do get sacked by Daniel Hunter. So let's try to make this 3rd down a lot more manageable for us, and Saquon Barkley in the angle route's not going to be able to bring it in as Daniel Hunter goes down. So this is going to be very hard for us to convert here, and if we can get it, Travis Hunter is going to be able to pick up the 1st down for us on a good out route. The corner bit down with Saquon Barkley going down into the flats, and we were able to fit it up over top. And Travis Hunter's really been the only receiver in this game who's been playing well for us, and we're going to go to again right here, and he's got over 50 yards receiving on the day already for us. So let's keep this drive going here and try to put on some points, and there's just nothing going on. John Mitchell-Schmidt's getting no movement, but the 2-minute warning's here, but we can still play with the clock a little bit, and I usually don't check here, but with the corner playing that far off, I'm just going to put Wan'Dale Robinson a little hook to curl route and see if we can fit it in there, and we do, and Wan'Dale Robinson's going to pick up another first for us. And now is where I need to start worrying about the cap here as I see him. Travis Hunter not able to hold it in. He ran the slant route a little too deep. So that's an absolute killer for our team here. But underneath, and that one almost picked off. I saw the corner come down last second. That's Murphy almost able to get the play. As on 3rd and 10 around the goal line, we're going to run a little bit of a slip screen and Saquon Barkley gets stuck up. So we're just going to have to take a field goal. So Jake Elliott's going to bang this one through with a minute left on the clock. We'll see what the Vikings do, whether they try to take it to half or go down and score, or at least yet try to score. But we're going to run out here, and the sack's going to come in from James Williams. I've been trying to stay out of the nickel because he seems tired. But here we bring him in, and he's able to rush up the middle and get a good sack. And it looks like the Vikings, that's going to be all she wrote for them, and they're going to take this one into halftime. So here we go. Travis Hunter's kicking off the second half here. And so starting out the second half, I just want to get back to the basics here, and that's going to include Wan'Dale Robinson here in the slot getting a good first right away, as well as some play action coming out. And Luke Musgrave should be open on this crosser, but I actually see him. Who is that? Is that Jalen Hyatt? Jalen Hyatt, who hasn't been active the past couple of weeks in terms of just getting receiving yards for us, is able to come open on the crosser. But someone else who we haven't gone too much this week, Keon Coleman's going to be on a deep route here, and he's not open, but we are going to go to Saquon Barkley for the first. And so we're coming out so far feeling and looking like a different team, and Saquon Barkley on the cutback's going to get a nice run, but he's not getting the yards the past couple of weeks that we really need from him. But Keon Coleman's going to come so wide open here, and if we can get one more juke move, Danielle Hunter's going to bottle us up, but we got a 1st and goal. And I am going to be looking back at Keon Coleman here on the zig route, and that's not going to come open. I'm just going to throw this one away, and that's going to call us for a intention, and it is an intentional grounding. I thought I was out of the tackle box on that one, and that's going to kill this drive for us right here. But actually, Keon Coleman's going to come open on the deep cross, one-on-one against Murphy Jr., and he was able to get into a great position and catch that ball, bring it in. So Keon Coleman, somebody else who hasn't been very loud for us recently, comes up with the biggest touchdown of the game to make this only a 4-score affair. And I actually am going to go for 2 here to try to make it a 3-score game. We're going to go out to Darren Bellinger, and he's not able to break the tackle on Josie Jewell. So now it is a 5-score game, but that's okay. We still got time. James Williams out in the flat. He's going to be able to make the tackle on Cam Akers, and he's going to go down with an injury. So the Vikings are down to their 3rd-string running back in this game. And it says that James Williams is good to go, so that's going to be good for us. So, I won't have to worry about his stamina too much anymore. But with them on a 3rd and 8, we're going to try to bring pressure, and across the middle, it's going to be Jordan Addison who comes wide open on the crosser. So that's definitely not what we wanted, but they are going to the air, and pressure's coming, and James Williams got his 2nd sack on the day. He was tired. We had trouble with him. He's back in the game, back playing healthy. Here we go. And this is how we come back in this ball game, but they are going to a run up the middle, and it's Williams. I don't know who it is. I'll have to check, but he gets brought down. And the running back's actually Avery Williams out of Boise State here, and we're getting pressure. It was Kayvon Thibodeau one-on-one with poor Avery Williams, and the 3rd-string back, who didn't even think he was going to see time today, had to block one of the best defensive ends in the league. And the Vikings are going to punt this football away again. And so we are missing our breakout opportunity for Drake May. And honestly, it sucks. But nonetheless, we'll still try to win a football game here, because that's what I care about more, is winning and taking the Giants to the playoffs. As I think maybe I was just forcing the issue too much here. But Barkley's finally got some open space. And Barkley to the outside. What a good juke move. Barkley's got a lot of room to run here and finally gets brought down. That's his longest run since his 90-yarder against I think it was the Las Vegas Raiders. And it's really scary when all facets of our team are working right away. Jalen Hyatt with a good grab. And we are finally winning the yards battle in this one. Is out to the outside. I'm going to try to juke back in, but it's not going to work as Saquon goes down with an injury. This is not what we needed. Darrington Evans and Pierre Strong are going to have to come in and carry. And on this 3rd and 6, there's nobody out there with Pierre Strong, so I'm thinking about throwing it out there now and just leaving him one-on-one to try to win the battle, but the spin move doesn't work. I tried to set it up to have him win the drive for us, and the Vikings are going to force us to a field goal. And Saquon Barkley does have a bruised sternum, so we know what that means. He may get a little knock to the head, but Jake Elliott's going to nail this one in, and we're still down in this ball game. But I think momentum at this point is on our side. But it does look like Cam Akers is back in the game here for the Minnesota Vikings. And I expect him to lean on him here. And he's got his 2nd run already on this drive. But it is a 3rd and 4. We're bringing the pressure right away. And the underneath is going to be caught. Dane Belton is getting tired too in this ball game, I did see. So leaving him out in man-to-man coverage may prove to be difficult here, as Nick Amrawari is going to make a good play on Cam. So the 4th quarter is here, and Sexy Dexy starts it off making plays. This sets up a 3rd and 10 where we're actually not bringing the blitz, but instead Stingley gets burdened, but Baker misses him. That's a huge miscue from Baker Mayfield because that's going to give us the ball back when that could have almost been a touchdown maybe for Justin Jefferson. But a good return from Travis Hunter here would be huge, and we're going to go cross the field here, and Travis Hunter's only got the punter to beat, and a good juke move is going to put us all the way out to the 43-yard line. And so it's going to be Pierre Strong at running back starting it off for us, and they go right at him right away. And with Saquon out, I think our running game is going to struggle a little bit, so what I'm going to do is run in some read options and try to get it to work that way. But already in a 3rd and 8, we really got to make something happen here, and I see him to the outside. Travis Hunter with another good grab, and Travis Hunter may be our first 100-yard receiver in a very long time with how he's playing today. But it's all going to be how we can finish in this ball game. We only got 1 touchdown. That one, Evan Neal gets absolutely blown back into the running back. And so let's see here on 2nd and 10 if Jordan could make our life any easier, but he actually gets stuck up, and we're just going to have to scramble out here. I saw Luke Musgrave last second with the corner coming down. That should be a late hit, but nonetheless, it is a 3rd and 4. So we are most likely going to go to Musgrave here out in the flats to get the first down. He's so wide open. He's going to turn up the field and the truck a little too early. But let's see if we can go back to him on the sprint out, one-on-one coverage, and that's not going to work, but I do see him fit him underneath Wan'Dale Robinson. We just couldn't get the ball to him. So this is such a big drive for us, and I do not want to finish it with a field goal as Musgrave's going to make it a 3rd and 3. And so let's see if these spot routes can really get us there. I'm actually going to go out to Brevin Jordan, and Brevin Jordan can turn up the field for the first down, and he makes it a 4th and inches. And so this late in the game, I'm just going to take the points. We weren't able to get it. I thought that was a pretty good read coming out from us. Brevin just wasn't able to fall forward, and we are going to make it a 1-point lead, but it is the Vikings who have a chance, and they're going to start with a run, but we came down perfectly with Dane Belton in that hook to curl zone, and being one of the top teams in the league in takeaways, actually surprisingly, we're 9th. It feels like we should be 1st, but we have not been able to get any interceptions today, so they're going to go across the middle, and I'm there to break it up. I thought we had a chance, but we're still playing pretty well in this one here. It is going to be a screenplay, and we're going to go out with him. And there is a penalty on the play, and we were there to make the tackle, but we just couldn't wrap up. And the penalty is going to be a personal foul, roughing the passer anyway. So the Vikings are going to get a huge play out of the deal. That's going to be added on to the end. So that's going to be almost the game here. We got to see how it all goes because they are in field goal range. And I really got to start thinking about when the heck we're going to start using our timeouts here because the blitz isn't working, man-to-man coverage isn't working, and they did get a first. And I'm actually going to start using them now. But across the middle, Deontay Banks can't make it, and I'm going to burn another one. And I don't know why they're not just running the football. They have the game in hand right now as Baker Mayfield's going to step up. We get a big hit. We did decapitate him, but we currently have no more timeouts left in this ball game here, so let's go underneath again to the running back. And I think they're finally going to go to the ground, and we just got to bottle him up, and Sexy Dexy does just that, forcing him to a field goal, so the game's going to be back in our hands here with the use Drake May. Go on a huge drive and try to win this football game. But I do want to try to block it first, and it is up and good. The Minnesota Vikings now have a 2-point lead. And I did put Travis Hunter back for this kick return. Darrington Evans was supposed to be there, but Travis Hunter's got a good return all the way out to the 26. And so this is the drive. Here we go. We got to get things working here. I'm going to try to put it up and over the top to Jalen Hyatt, and Jalen Hyatt makes a great catch. I cannot believe we were able to fit that one in there. And I'm going to go to Dontavian Wicks across the middle, and Dontavian Wicks already got it. I'm already going to the hurry up here. We're going to some curl flats because we're already in field goal range. I'm okay with just throwing this ball out if we really need to, and I just will. And I don't know if we need any more yards, but I am going to go to a pass play here, and I'm just going to throw it right here to Keon Coleman, who's going to take it, make it a 3rd and 5. And so we are going to run a stretch play with Pierre Strong just to make sure we're in a good position, and he's going to get out. Clock is going to stop, though. I kind of wanted to stay in, but nonetheless, Jake Elliott, we're going to be able to boot this one in between the post, and if this is a little bit right, I'm going to lose my mind here. Jake Elliott, the kick is up and good. And we got back the lead 18-17 in this ball game. A little bit of a defensive battle. We came out throwing the ball strong, but we do have the lead very, very late in this ball game. The only problem is they still have all 3 timeouts to work with, so we got to be very, very safe in coverage, and that one gets tipped up off the lineman. And their rookie kicker says they need to get to the 35-yard line here, but Sexy Dexy on a 4-man pressure makes a huge sack, possibly one of the biggest sacks this season, because we're still 2 games out of this one when it comes to the Cowboys in the division. And another sack up the middle on Bryce Huff, and they have to burn another timeout. So all of a sudden, for the first time ever, a 4-man pressure is getting there, and Baker Mayfield's got to get to the sticks. And he's just going to throw it out underneath, and we're going to make the tackle and secure the win. And so we're just going to run this football with Strong up the middle, get tackled, and that's going to be the ball game here. As the next play, we're going to kneel this one down. And even though we didn't get the X Factor, like I said 100 times over, it always feels good to walk away with a win. And looking at the stats, Travis Hunter, 91 receiving yards, his best day yet playing at receiver for us. And Jalen Hyatt had the clutch catch on the sideline to put us into almost field goal range there. Dontavion Wicks also has been playing well for us, especially now with Roman Wilson out with injury. Wan'Dale Robinson didn't do anything. Daniel Bellinger didn't even have a single catch. Neither did Odell Beckham. Both had drops instead. And passing the ball, 22 of 35. Not the best numbers across the board. 1 touchdown, 1 pick. But hey, it worked for us here. And so looking at the breakout, we didn't quite get it. He did a good job, and I think we're still going to get some XP from it. Don't worry, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But we do have one more game to play in the Los Angeles Chargers. And as this news broke, John Harbaugh is now going to be their brand new head coach. And looking at the playoff picture right now, we are sitting at the 5 seed, and the Cowboys still have the 1st seed. But looking at the standings there in the bottom right, we are only, it seems like a game, maybe a game and a half behind them. And playing Justin Herbert today, our goal is going to be applying pressure. Our blitz has been working out for us, especially in the nickel and the 3rd and longs, and I want to continue that. And so if we get 2 sacks today, that's going to be huge for our defense when it comes to XP. But before the game starts, I want to show you guys the stats so we can end episode on a high note when we beat the Chargers eventually. Drake May sitting at 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, a pretty good completion percentage coming out from him. And this yardage, I think, puts him at 21st in the league. And then rushing-wise, Saquon Barkley is about to top 1,000 yards this year in this game. But other than that, we haven't really had a strong number 2 running back this season. We did a lot better rushing the ball last year. But the guy who did that, Eric Gray's not even on our roster right now. And then receiving, this is where it gets a little wild. Look how much we've actually spread the ball out in this game. We're not going to have a 1,000-yard receiver, I can tell you right now. But only one guy in our roster doesn't have a reception, and the rest of our team's looking pretty strong across the board, as Musgrave's actually got more receiving yards than Daniel Bellinger. And when it comes to receptions, Saquon Barkley actually leads the way. That's kind of crazy. And then on defense, Dane Belton's leading the way for us on tackles. I'm not counting in Quay Walker just yet because he hasn't taken enough time with us on defense. And with his injury, that's actually going to go way down in terms of team rankings. And James Williams leading the way with us in sacks, but scratch. James Williams is leading the way with us for sacks with 6.5. Kayvon Thibodeau is only at 4.5. He only finished with 8.5 sacks last year, and I get it. We're running a very Wink Martindale's type defense with the amount of guys we're running across the board, so a lot of players on our team have sacks, but nobody's really got that high number. But then at interceptions, Deontay Banks got 5, Derek Stingley's got 4, Dane Belton with 3, you love to see it. Travis Hunter does have 2 as well, and the young safety's coming in with 1 of his own. And that interception on Quinn Ewers against the Las Vegas Raiders was actually insane from that nickel linebacker look. But then at kick return, Darrington Evans will be back in the starting role. I keep saying he will. Well, now he is, as he's got 2 kick returns in 1 game this season. But at punt returns, he will not be the starter going forward. Travis Hunter actually took that spot from him. But I did want to show this compared to the rest of the league. The league has thrown a lot of interceptions this year. Rodgers with 15, Bryce Young with 13. He still hasn't developed very well yet. Kyler Murray's still at a negative percentage there. Quinn Ewers at 13. It's crazy to see across the board. Even rookie Drew Aller is struggling. And going down the list here, a lot of quarterbacks have thrown interceptions. Jordan Love's now the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You love to see it. But when it comes to interception to touchdown ratio, there's only a couple guys leading the way here that are hot. Shedeur Sanders, actually for the Green Bay Packers, is. But it's now time to get into the weekly strategy. We're going to be defending the deep pass. I want to make sure our fatigue is not an issue going forward still, so we're going to keep it the same way. And then on offense, they do have a very good secondary with Derwin James back there. We are going to try to throw it short. And I am changing it from full pads to half pads going forward. And with the half pads, there should be no injuries across the board. Micah McFadden and Bobby Okereke drop a little bit, but that's fine. No worries. But we're ready to jump into this football game. And we are starting this one in SoFi Stadium. So we finally get another away game, and this is going to be a kneel down here to see Justin Herbert come out for the Los Angeles Chargers. And looking at it, he's actually got some crazy stats this year. 21 touchdowns, 4 interceptions only to his name. So our goal today is going to be to up that number in interceptions. But this year is going to be big for Christian Harris, as we need to get a fumble on the first play coming out in the tackle battle. I don't think we're going to get another break like that in a while, but as I was saying, Christian Harris has got to have a good end of year for us across the board. And that's really because he's 4 to 5 overall points lower than the next player on our defense. But I still am a Christian Harris fan just because of his size and speed at the linebacker position. He can cover almost anybody, but that is excluding any slot receivers. Here's Bobby Okereke. He's going to get a great tackle, and Christian Harris, we're talking about him on the opening drive, is grabbing his back now. So now we might be sitting in the nickel a little bit more for this game, as the pass underneath is going to be broken up by Deontay Banks. But that is going to allow Corey Foreman to come in, somebody we haven't seen much this year at all, but that pass goes errant. So you just love opening up a game talking about how much you like a player and how much of an impact he could have, even though of his low overall, and then he gets injured on that first drive. But as football always works, it's going to be next man up mentality, as Jalen Hyatt's going to make it a 3rd and 6 early. And I am going to be looking at Dontayvion Dontayvion Wicks here as he's going to be quick there, and he not able to bring it in. The safety came down hard on him. So it's an early punt now coming out from both teams, and Cordero Flott, who hasn't gotten a lot of time at a star development for us this season, makes a good tackle. And the Chargers right now are winning the field position battle, but we're coming in. And is that Christian Harris? I guess he's back on the field, so I don't know what's going on there, but we are going to the air here, and we're going to be bottling them up. They are going to go underneath, and Travis Hunter's going to make it a 3rd down. And on this 3rd and 2, I'm guessing pass, they go to a run instead, and Nick Amrawari's going to bottle it up. So 3 punts to start out this football game. As I love in the second half of the season how well our defense has played. The first half of the season, we were allowing almost 300 passing yards a game, as well as 100 rushing yards per game, putting that total right around 400 yards per game total for our offenses playing against us. But that number now has dropped to just around 330 yards, and I'll take that huge drop. But next episode, we will show the team stats, so make sure you guys stay around for that, as Travis Hunter is going to start here with a good grab. And we haven't gone to the run yet, nor are we going to right here, as I'm going to let Wan'Dale Robinson beat Joey Bosa to the edge. And so we were almost able to outrun the worst Bosa brother there, as we're going to throw it away before he gets his first sack. So we are finally going to go to the run here. And we're going to have to try to beat him to the edge, and Kenneth Murray's just too fast for us. Maybe we should have just tried to truck through him for the first down. I got pretty and cute with it, and we're going to punt this football away. So a defensive battle here again, what's been 2 high-powered offenses, and a run from Austin Eckler is not going to go anywhere. And we are going to try to fulfill our goal of getting as much pressure to the quarterback as possible. As Dane Belton, a good tackle on the outside, is going to make it a 3rd and 6. As these drives here are going back and forth, but Travis Hunter's going to have an opportunity to get a sack. Nonetheless, Stingley makes a great tackle at the yard to gain, and the reception's not going to be enough for the first down, and we're gonna get the ball right back. So when it comes to realistic games, you're seeing it here right now as Travis Hunter's gonna go down with a tackle, but we haven't had any scores put up yet. But I definitely would be like to be the one to break that here. Saquon Barkley with a good juke move, another good juke move. He's got 10 on the carry, and that's gonna bring us to the end of the first quarter, and there's 70 yards of offense total in this game, an all-time low I think for us so far. But you know what, I'll take it, and we are gonna go back to the run here, start leaning on Saquon Barkley a little bit more in this drive, but getting stuck at another 3rd down, we are gonna go to the air here, and Darrington Evans, that's just a bad underthrow right there. I tried to get it onto the outside, the hook to curl route. Jalen Hyatt actually ended up on a go on that concept, and we do throw the interception, give the Chargers the ball at the 43-yard line. And that interception came out from Malachi Moore, the good safety. I just threw it way too late. I should have thrown it before Darrington Evans broke. But now our defense has to make their best stop yet. It's going to be a slant route coming out first, and they're across midfield. And it really was going to be which team was going to break first, as Travis Hunter on the blitz makes a good stop. But we still put ourselves in a very, very bad position here, as Gerald Everett's almost going to get the first. And a stop here would make it a very, very long field goal, and we weren't able to chase down Justin Herbert. He scrambled out behind us. Bobby Okereke came in unfree there, and so unless we get a turnover here, this is going to end up in points for the Los Angeles Chargers. I see him here, and we're going to be there. Bobby Okereke, we're not able to get the sack. I meant interceptions, but this has just been a game of inches for Bobby Okereke so far. We almost got the sack, we almost got the interception, and instead the Chargers walk away with 7. But is it 3 o'clock in the morning as I'm recording this? Yes. Is it almost time for Darrington Evans to get a kick return? Maybe. But do I have a quiz tomorrow? Absolutely. But am I recording a video? Absolutely. So we are coming back here on offense, and we have points to match now in this one, as Barkley's going to get started off with a good run. But something we haven't done in the past couple weeks is just take a deep shot. It's as simple as that. We haven't got our receivers deep downfield. That's like Jalen Hyatt's job for us. So as you see here for this game, I actually put him in the slot a lot more because I just want to be able to get him the ball. But it's going to be Daniel Bellinger out in the flat, who's got a lot of space on the read option kind of look there. But Evan Neal's going to get injured. He's going to miss this drive. But we're finally able to cross the midfield point in this ball game right now. And I want to take a deep shot here, lead him to the middle. Keon Coleman going up, and he's not going to be able to bring it in. I did just want to take a deep shot to Keon Coleman. He's a big body, and he hasn't used that big body much for us. But with Evan Neal getting a really high re-injury risk, we are going to bring in Cody Ford. And so our offensive line is struggling and is going to struggle even more in this one. But Cam Coleman does have a lot of space here, and he's not the best juker in the world, but he is going to fall forward. And so I do want to try something here with Wan'Dale Robinson. We haven't run this play a lot this year, but we are going to get Wan'Dale Robinson to the edge. Please turn off field. Wan'Dale Robinson, the slot receiver, is going to put us all the way down at the 5-yard line. And that is such a big rush from us. But Saquon Barkley up the middle. Can we find a hole? We can a little bit, and he falls forward down to the 2. And I am going to look to Wan'Dale Robinson on this whip route here. Can he just get down? And he almost intercepted, almost jumped. But we are going to be able to get this touchdown here because I'm calling it. Daniel Bellinger on the spot route is wide open. Touchdown number 5 for him on this season so far, as that's going to help us tie the lead here against the Los Angeles Chargers. So coming out here, almost a 2-minute warning, and it's going to be us. We have to make a good stop here on defense. But Herbert has been absolutely wheeling and dealing in this game, as an out route's going to barely fall in. Is that Williams again? And it is. And there's really not a lot across the board that's been working for us here. The underneaths have been open. Is actually Keenan Allen's able to break one, but the the clock's continuing to run here as they just go underneath this time, and I tried to go for the big hit and it didn't work, and Palmer's got a great grab. As Micah McFadden went down again for us. It's been a couple times this season he's gone down with injury, but that won't really matter to finish this half as we are going to go to a lot of nickel combinations as that throw is really across his body, and they now just are letting this clock run down as they're going to try to take a deep shot in between, and they just get it in between Stingley and the safety. And so down on the 5-yard line, it's all up to here, and I see him in the window, and they are shopping here. Justin Herbert fitted into Palmer, and Joshua Palmer is going to help the Chargers regain the lead in this one at the end of the first half. And with not a lot of time left, I'm just going to take it to halftime, avoid any mistakes, and we're going to come out in the second half, and we do get the ball first, so let's see what we can do. So going into halftime, we're obviously getting beat through the air. Justin Herbert's absolutely wheeling and dealing on us, and we need to shut that down. And this is the first game this season where in an entire half of football, we have not even thrown the ball downfield a medium route even once. And that is absolutely killer for us as hopefully Saquon Barkley can get the edge, and he's not able to. The blocking from the receivers just doesn't hold up. And Saquon's only averaging 3.2 yards per game in this one as he looks like he's down a little bit. But he is going to stay on the field for us, and I'm hoping Belly can come open here and maybe throw it across. And that's going to be OBJ with the catch of the day on this third down. And that's our largest reception in this game so far here. Is I'm going to look and try to go to Wan'Dale Robinson. That's just overthrown. Actually tipped up. So if we have to go on slow methodical drives, that's just what we're going to have to do here. And I'm going to dump it off to Belly and have Belly get a couple, and a good truck coming out from him. And that's going to make this third down a lot more manageable for us as Saquon Barkley up the middle, a good truck through. And so we are going to go back to the ground here. Andrew Thomas on Bosa, and Andrew Thomas wins that one as a Barkley juke move's not going to work. And with Barkley getting tired, Pierre Strong's going to come into this ball game. And it's going to be Musgrave in a one-on-one situation against Derwin James that he's not going to walk away with the win. And so on this 3rd and 10, they come out in a zone look here. We're going to throw to Keon Coleman on the sideline, but that pass doesn't get in, and it's a poor accuracy throw. And Jake Elliott's not going to be able to hit from 59, so we're going to try to pin them deep here with a very, very high punt. And Travis Hunter's not able to catch it at the 2-yard line. Nonetheless, we get it at the 7. And so if the Chargers want to have any success on this drive, it's not going to come from Austin Eckler, who we've been bottling up all day long. And that's why I really love this 4-3 look, and a slant route underneath is going to make it a 3rd and about long. But this is where we're going to bring our bread and butter, a full house blitz here, and a great catch from Joshua Palmer to convert. And with Eckler coming in there to block, it kind of ruined that opportunity for us, and now we're going to go underneath. And it is going to be a 2nd down. But Herbert continues to ball out into this ball game right now, but Austin Eckler doesn't. But Justin Herbert's 18 of 20 in this game, as that's actually one of the worst completion percentages that we've allowed this year is in the spot route. Maybe we should have been in that hole, but it's going to be Keenan Allen picking it up. And so the Chargers are just having their way with us right now as Dane Belton gets sucked in. And look at the blocking on the outside from the Chargers receivers. It's absolutely insane. Eventually, Xavier McKinney's able to make the tackle. But that's the first good Austin Eckler run in this one. And I cannot let up a score right now in this 3rd quarter as we're bringing the heat into the box again, and it works out. But sitting in some man-to-man, they actually go play action here, and I'm running with it, but they do go underneath to the tight end, and we're able to hold him, making a 3rd and 1. But Herbert's now top 200 passing yards on the day. And so on this 3rd and 1, we are bringing the heat up the middle. We're able to get the good stop. Isaiah Simmons from the linebacker spot, replacing Micah McFadden, gets the tackle. As it appears, Micah McFadden won't be back for a couple of weeks. He did dislocate his elbow, so I don't know what that all means. But the Chargers are going to try to get a field goal here and do get it through right down the middle. So 17-7 is the score in the ball game, and we got our work cut out for us. So Evans back to return for us, and this is where we need a spark. We got lead blocking from actually both the Travis Hunters. That's funny. But that was not the best return that we could have asked for in this one, as it's going to be such bad blocking on the outside. Bellinger on Bosa is just not going to work. And we still not have topped 100 yards in this game, and that's how bad it's been, as Saquon Barkley in the screenplay just doesn't get open. But we're now to the 4th quarter, and I meant 100 passing yards with 97 on the day. We need to get those numbers up right now because we're just having no movement in this ball game. So I think I'm going to try to rely on a veteran here to get this to work. Can we get OBJ to make a good catch, and it's knocked out last second, and a 4th and 12? I just have to punt this football away. And I would understand why in this ball game as our offense is getting tired. I'm sorry, defense, but it's a Mike Williams catch to start it. But I'm going to try to switch to a lot of zone coverage here. Maybe that'll help us out as underneath Gerald Everett with a good grab. Travis Hunter, an even better tackle. But we had the ball in the last drive for all of maybe 27 seconds. That's about it. As now Herbert's even running the football here, and he's got so much space, and he's just going to get down here after a gain of 24 yards. This is the type of game that's just sad for us across the board, as Eckler now getting the carry to the outside. Eckler only one man to beat, and Dane Belton's not able to get the ankles, and Austin Eckler runs in, and that extends the Chargers lead to 24-7 now in this game. So if we make a comeback, it's got to start right now. Simple as that. And Darrington Evans up the middle is going to get a good return to start it. But Wan'Dale Robinson, actually Jalen Hyatt one-on-one to the outside. I do want to go to him. Never mind. Wan'Dale Robinson underneath. He's got a lot of space to run. as he gets hit hard by Derwin James, falls hard, and it's going to be a bruised sternum. I'm calling it right now, which is a knock to the head. Actually, he's limping with the ankle, but this is why our receiver room is so built up for moments like this when our receivers do get injured. I need that block here, and we're going to try to juke back inside, and Saquon Barkley's going to be able to pick up the first. As now Saquon goes down with an injury, the injury sliders are lower than they've ever been in Giants franchise. I'm letting you know right now. So this is just killing us across the board. Is that a concussion test? I don't know what's going on with that test there. But I do like the way this drive has been going right now. Is I'm just going to try to take a deep shot here. Jalen Hyatt, can we get the right positioning? And Jalen Hyatt's going to put us down to the 2-yard line. So finally we're able to hit a deep shot over top. I accidentally did run hurry up with it. And it's going to be OBJ getting into the end zone for us. As long as the blocks get there, and they do. OBJ, I think that may be his first touchdown of the season. Nonetheless, OBJ gets into the end zone for us. I want to get back to Madden. What was it, Madden 17 with the whip and nay from him? That'd be awesome to see. But we do take the lead in this scratch. But we do cut into the lead a little bit for the Los Angeles Chargers. Our defense, though, has to make some stops here. And Wan'Dale Robinson gets a complete PCL tear. If you know, his rookie year, he went down with a really bad ACL tear. So the PCL tear is going to mean he's probably going to miss the rest of this season. And I'll tell you right now, our goal with our wide receiving core is to really spread the ball around. Yes, we have a lot of receivers. That means no 1,000-yard receivers. But I want to see out of that mix of guys, who's going to break out, who's going to have the best game, who's going to consistently get open for us, and then slowly insert him more and more into different formations until he becomes a bona fide number one. Wan'Dale Robinson was doing that a little bit throughout the season, so I was excited. So now that he goes down with an injury and we don't have him for the remainder of this season, because it looks like we are going to make the playoffs, his loss is going to be huge for us, and we're going to need Keon Coleman to step up. We're going to need OBJ to step up, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this all works out. But a quick pass play to the tight end does set them up here as they do go across, and Stingley drops the interception. Oh, Stingley, that would have been such a big play. Our defense today has just not been it. It was it to start the game. We were playing very well, but I think we just got tired across the board. But the one thing we haven't done is gotten a sack today, and that's just absolutely crazy. Because even now, Cordero Flott's checking in the game for us, but a run up the middle, and Sexy Dexy just had his way so far today. But I would love to see something out of Travis Hunter right now. We're going to try to break it to the outside. He's got a lot of space, but I don't know if he's going to be able to break tackles enough. But starting at the 34 is not too bad. But down 10 in this game, the score is very much more manageable for us right now. And Saquon Barkley's back in the game. Doesn't know if he's completely healthy, but I love that he's back. And we are going to be moving fast in this one out to the outside. The whip route, or wheel route from Barkley, and he's going to get up the field. Scratch. And after a good screen pass to Beckham, we're able to get up the field here. I'm going to scramble out with Drake May. Maybe try to force this one. If Keon Coleman can get it in, almost intercepted. But it looks like there's a blitz here coming off the left-hand side, so maybe Travis Hunter can get open right away. But they are playing inside coverage, so we're going to dump it off to Odell, and I wanted him to be a little bit faster on Camille Mack. But we are going to the hurry up here. And Jalen Hyatt's going to be open on a crosser, and he's able to hold on to the football here. But we're going to keep this drive rolling right now and scramble out here, actually, as that pressure in our face forces had to throw this one away. And even though the time isn't on our side, I want to try to run here with Barkley. And if Keon Coleman can pick up a good block, and he does, Saquon Barkley's going to take this one into the end zone. He's struggled all day long. Saquon Barkley finally coming up huge there. What a good play call coming out on the stretch. And Keon Coleman may not get all the receptions in the world, but that man is a fantastic blocker on the outside. So our defense now more than ever needs to come up with a stop, and they're starting with Austin Eckler, and Austin Eckler's got a lot of space. Austin Eckler running down the left-hand sideline. We brought the blitz. It didn't quite work out, and Deonte Banks is finally able to bring him down. What a bad play. And that's an absolute killer coming out, but we are bringing the blitz, and Corey Foreman, good TFL there. But that one really was rough for us, as now a blitz coming out, and it is a QB draw, and we're able to hold him, making it a 3rd and 11. And I kind of want to burn a timeout right now, but I'm not gonna. And they are going 5 wide here, so if we bring a 6-man pressure, we should get a free rusher. James Williams, I'm looking for the sack here. They're coming in hot, and it's going to be a throw to Austin Eckler, and Deonte Banks in coverage holds it. So we're going to force the Chargers to a field goal after the crazy Austin Eckler run. We still have some life in this ball game. And so with the kick up and good, the Chargers extend their lead now to 6. But if we get a touchdown, we can walk away with the win in this ball game. So here we go, 2 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock. Darrington Evans is going to have a good kick return here again. I think if I hit that left side a little bit more, maybe we could have broken it. But this drive is going to be mostly exclusively through the air here, and I don't see anybody. I'm just going to throw this away. And we weren't out of the tackle box. Are you kidding me? So that penalty is going to back us up a lot, make it a 2nd and 24, so our job just became even harder. So now let's see what we can do here in this ball game. And I'm going to take a deep shot right away to Jalen Hyatt. And if I bring it inside, it was off his hands last second. And so we are coming out in a 4 verticals look. Simple as that. And the pressure's in our face right away. And it's a 4th and 24, and we just have to go for it. So we're keeping Bellinger in the block. We got to get this play to work here. And I'm going to try to go across to OBJ, and that one's just not going to work. I should have tested one of the one-on-ones on the outside. We do have all our timeouts, but if they get a field goal here, that makes it a 9-point game. So that one is just a terrible decision by me. And we were going to throw at the end of this game. But we did do pretty well in this. And they're just going to the air. What is going on? Wait a second. I have no idea why they threw the ball there. And we're going to make another timeout right now. And it's already 3rd and 11. And it is going to be a run to the outside with Austin Eckler. And as long as we can make the tackle, burn another one, here we go. We may have a little bit of life in this ballgame. I'm saying just a little bit. You know, went from a 1% to a 3%, but let's see what we can do. And we are going to try to bring the pressure on the kick, and that one is up and through. So it is a 9-point game, but there's a minute 50 left. Maybe we could do something crazy here. We're going to need an onside kick to work for us. And so Evans is going to start off with a kick return here. We're going to break it out, and it's not going to work. And I know just feel like I'm chucking it up here, but I do want to try a deep shot here to Keon Coleman. Use his size, and I need him to get one of those jump balls eventually. But maybe Travis Hunter can come open here on the edge. We're going to have to scramble out, and nothing's really open. Where's it thrown away? But this may be the ball game right here. We're going to try to see if we can get something to work. And I see OBJ, and that pass just isn't going to work. So it is just a rough game for us in total. And pressure's already coming, and we just get sacked on the very last play. We had no time. Our offensive line crippled us in this ball game as we go down here, falling to the Chargers 30-21. We did have a good episode, though. We maintained what we wanted to do, which was in the playoff hunt. Are we going to be top of the NFC East right now against the Cowboys? Maybe. We're going to have to see how the Cowboys do in the last episode, which will be coming out very soon. But that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate the support on the YouTube. We've done like 500 subscribers, so be a part of that. Subscribe. And I'm so blessed to have people willing and watching my videos. It's such an awesome experience. But I will see you guys in the next one.